All right, this morning, Senator Lindsey Graham is pushing for a new crackdown on Russia. The Republicans introduced a bill that would place new sanctions on Moscow and steep tariffs on any country that purchases Russian oil, gas, uranium, or other products. There's a companion bill in the House that's been introduced by Republican Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick. Both bills have received strong bipartisan support. With us now is Congressman Brandon Gill, a Republican from Texas. Congressman, great to see you this morning. So Brian Fitzpatrick, your Republican colleague, is introducing or trying to introduce this bill into the House. I mean, obviously, there is the mineral deal today, but if Moscow doesn't come to the table, is this a bill you would support, new sanctions on Russia?
You know, listen, we're going to have to take a look at this bill in particular and go through the text and make a prudent decision once we've had the chance to do that. But what I'm glad about is that we have a president who wants peace between Russia and Ukraine. We haven't had that for years. There have been hundreds of thousands of people who have died in the war in Ukraine. And what is best for the United States and best for Ukraine is a path to peace, and that's what President Trump is pushing here.
Can you tell me any specific measure you would support that would be tougher on Russia, trying to push Russia toward peace?
Well, I'll tell you what I would support, which would help the United States at Russia's expense, which would be drilling for oil right here in the United States. We have energy domestically that we can produce that over the past 4 years we've seen the other side of the aisle intentionally hamstring domestic energy production, which means we have to purchase oil and other forms of energy from hostile foreign nations. That's wrong. We need to be producing it right here. That will make America stronger on the world stage and will hurt some of our adversaries.
Any new sanction or tariff you'd be willing to place on Russia?
You know, we'll have to take a look at these on an individual basis. This is moving fast. We haven't had a chance to go through it yet, but we will certainly take a look.
Congressman, I'm sure you saw some of the comments the president made at the White House yesterday talking about tariffs and the possible impact on store shelves. Let's listen to a little bit of what he said.
Somebody said, oh, the shelves are going to be open. Well, maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30, you know, and maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally.
So fewer dolls, more expensive dolls. This is how the New York Post put it this morning, the Rupert Murdoch-owned New York Post. Trump admits tariffs will raise some prices, cause shortages. Maybe the children will have $2 instead of 30. Skimp on the Barbie. How do you feel about that messaging?
Well, listen, the president has been very clear, and Republicans have been very clear and consistent that what we want to see is jobs come back into the United States. We'd like to see us revive our manufacturing base and put the American people and the American worker first. Tariffs are one part of that. As you can see, according to the approval pollings that you guys just showed in the last segment, the American people continue to trust President Trump on the economy. This is a key part of what he ran on, is bringing jobs back to the United States, reviving our heartland. Tariffs are one part of that. He said that there's going to be some short-term disruption. There has been, but hopefully we can get through this quite soon. And I think we're going to see some major successes with bilateral trading agreements brokered by President Trump.
The junior senator from Texas, Ted Cruz, I won't read the whole statement here. He's supportive of the president's efforts to get trade deals, but he's concerned in the long term about the impact of tariffs. He says, here's one thing to understand, a tariff is a tax. Do you agree with the junior senator from Texas that a tariff is a tax?
Tariffs are a form of to raise revenue. But here's the purpose of this. For so long, we have seen one-sided taxation here, that foreign countries are taxing American products as we're trying to export, and we are not doing the same to them. We want free trade, but we want fair trade as well. We've also noticed a serious problem that is against our national interest, where we are reliant on hostile foreign countries like China for key pharmaceutical inputs, for key semiconductors, for other key goods that we need here in the United States. We should be producing these things domestically, and that's something that we should be able to agree with across the aisle.
All right, very last question on an offbeat topic here. You represent the Dallas area. I imagine you're a Dallas Mavericks fan. What was it like for you to see the Lakers with Luka Doncic get pushed out of the playoffs last night? Any gratification?
Well, listen, the Mavericks are going to be just fine here. Huge supporter there, huge Cowboys fan. They're gonna do just fine.
Did it hurt watching him play for the Lakers, though?
It's always a little painful, but we'll get through it.
I feel you. Been there 1,000 times. Congressman Brandon Gill, appreciate you joining us this morning. Thank you very much. Kate?
Sticking with